So where's the other information coming from then?
It's just not updated quickly enough. KW stuff is all connected to the IDX, which is essentially the big server that holds this information for a lot of the United States.
Isn't that what makes the sound at the beginning of movies? Isn't that what makes...
That's THX, Eric. THX.
Oh. No, isn't that
TFX.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater?
IDX? Oh, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Shout out to Tony Hawk.
That's what I'm saying. He's the one who does the beginning of that. That's Tony Hawk.
Oh, yeah.
I'm lost.
Already?
I'm lost. What fucking time is it?
Well, where the fuck are we at?
Well, I'll tell you, it's 5:27 on February 11th. Woo! February 11th, 2020. My name is Justin. That's Steven. Say something, Steven.
Oh, and right over there is...
Well, I meant like, that's Steven. Hey, like, we're on a fucking podcast.
Do it again.
Sorry,
Do it again.
Guy Spencer.
Do it again.
All right, so now this fucking Guy Spencer. That's why you're Guy Spencer. And Eric.
Yo, what's up?
See how easy that was?
It's that easy? Oh,
that
man.
easy.
Let's run it one more time.
Oh, yeah. Try it again.
It's a motherfucking Lone Ranger versus Tonto up in this hole. And that's it. Fuck it. Again.
Right on. It's February 11th, which means it's the next day after my son's birthday. So, happy birthday, Lime. Love you, buddy.
Happy birthday,
he turned
Lime.
8 yesterday.
Hell yeah.
And
Ocho.
Yeah, it's crazy. 8 feels a little different than when he turned the other ages. I don't know why. 8 seems just like an older age. You're closer to 10 than you are at 5. You're closer to 10 than you are to 5 now.
Okay.
And so, I don't know, it's a little different. And I think he's excited. And
it's different for you or for him?
Oh, it's different for me. I don't know his experience so much, but for me as a father, like, yeah, it's this one feels different to me. It feels like a more significant like aging than turning 5 to 6, 6 to 7. Those are just kind of like past, and he kind of seemed like the same, but like now he's significantly bigger, heavier. Like his mind's developing more significantly in different areas, socially, intellectually, all kinds of stuff. It's crazy. And it seems a lot more apparent over the last 6 to 8 months than it definitely did, the half year before his last birthday.
Do you think you would think of it in years if you didn't have a calendar?
No. Well,
like if you learned it, if you learned years in time with a calendar,
years
and then you end up
years like have a pattern. So it's like
So then you end up on an island. You're like a castaway. You're like Tom Hanks, and you got your own Wilson and shit. And you and Wilson over there counting down days. Do you start like without a calendar? Or are you thinking years, months?
No, I think at that point, if there was no measurement of long-term time, I think you would measure it by the seasons. And seasons would either be like if he was born in the winter, when is the next winter, right? Because you might not know.
Yeah, but what if you're on like a tropical island where there's not really winter?
Well, fuck that tropical island. Why
would
I be there?
You get hurricane season because that's how you end up. That's how you can end up in a spot. What you gonna do? You gonna walk out into the middle of the wilderness and then be like, "Oh man, I'm stuck. I guess I'll stay here without a calendar."
Shit. Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying now.
I mean, you end up in some kind of dire situation.
Still have
now you don't have calendars. What you gonna do? By days?
No, I mean, like I said, I measure it by the seasons. And even in that case, you have at least 2 seasons. They're just long.
For sure.
At the very least, you have 2. I don't think there's any place on Earth that has 1 season.
I start counting the moon, boy.
That's a good idea.
You gotta hit the moon, boy. Mm-hmm. That's the way to do it. Track the moon, you know what's good.
Do you know how many moon cycles are in our calendar year?
Nope, but I'll learn. In any case, what the fuck is this that you brought?
So this is coffee coconut chaos, and it's brewed by GCB, or the Golden City Brewery. One of my favorite breweries in Golden, or just really in like the Denver area. Small, like converted like a house into a brewery. That was like a residential, commercial spot. They've been brewing out of there for a while. They have like a little beer garden over there. It's tucked back off of the main street of Golden.
Okay, so what is it though? What is this?
This is a coffee coconut stout. So they took coffee from Pangea, which is a roaster in Golden, and they took some of their coffee, and I think they probably cold steeped that coffee, and then they made the beer. They made a porter, and then they used coconut into the porter to
Sounds trash. Why would you mix those things?
Hey, man. Don't judge.
I'm a judgmental guy.
Don't judge it by its name. Judge it by its taste.
I'm being judgmental as hell right now. When it comes to beer, you boy is Judge Judy. You know what I'm saying? That's interesting.
It's got a pretty good coffee kick from what I remember. Because so sometimes you can brew the coffee just right into the beer, right? You can put the beans into the beer at some point, and there's lots of different places you can put it in the process. But you can also just like take the beans out and make it hot or cold, and then mix the combination of the two liquids to blend them together.
They didn't mix liquor in this?
No, the only alcohol in that is from beer. Or from yeast.
5.1%. No fucking way.
I thought these were 4.5. But yeah, it's real low alcohol. You think it's less than that? I think it's more than that.
I think it tastes like, I don't know. Well, I guess it don't taste like alcohol. There's a weird bitter aftertaste that I don't particularly enjoy.
Do you think, is that bitterness closer to the bitterness you get from beer aftertaste or from coffee aftertaste?
I don't know.
I think that's good. Do you recognize the image on the front at all?
I have no idea what that is. I was going to ask you what that is, what that's supposed to be.
It's a helmet?
Yeah, you don't recognize whose helmet that is? I don't even know his name, but I do recognize it.
Is it Magneto?
No, that's the little fucking kid from South Park that like acts like Magneto in that episode, like one of their friends, and puts that like tinfoil helmet on.
Oh, hey, you know what? Never seen that episode. Sorry.
I don't think I've seen it either, but I know that helmet from there. And then that's a coconut, I believe, and those are coffee beans, like on his forehead. And yeah, I think that's
all right.
Is it the coffee that gives it like? Because the last beer that you brought that had coffee in it too was like thick like that. Like the liquid was like a little thicker than regular beer.
What do you mean by thicker?
It's like mud, boy. You be bringing in mud and shit. I be trying to drink beer.
I don't know. I don't want to call it by the name that it's called because Justin gets mad anytime I mention this. Like,
don't tell me it's about gravity, boy.
No.
Don't you over there start talking about gravity again?
Gravity is the alcohol, and it's the specific gravity, not the gravity.
Is it viscosity?
Viscosity is like a measurement that you can take, and this is, I believe, it would be more viscous. But mouthfeel is the descriptor, or like the category that you're talking about is like the mouthfeel of this has a lot more, like it feels like the liquid is thicker, right? It feels like it stays in your mouth longer. It feels like it's a little stickier, like, you know, it coats your mouth a little bit more. Like all that is mouthfeel because you have taste buds all over your mouth, not just on your tongue, your cheeks, your lips, all over your mouth is taste buds.
Is that true?
Yep.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
And apparently, I don't know. According to TikTok,
I thought that was one of those things that like them science teachers taught us in high school. It's like a did you know, and then you find out later on that that's wrong, Miss Lady Bitch. I done told you that don't make no sense. Why the fuck wouldn't a duck's quack echo? It's the same sound like everything else.
So what we were told
Same
about
shit.
the areas that like our tongues taste like salty on one part and sweet on another. That's what we learned in school about like the taste buds in the tongue. And that was the shit that was like, no, miss, that's wrong. Because all of our taste buds, and we have taste buds for all of those sensations across all of our tongue. It is more like centralized in some places a little bit where you get more because there's more of those receptors in that area, but they exist all over your mouth. Like taste buds are universal in your mouth. And like when you asked me earlier about in one of the episodes about like training and like tasting this shit, part of it is like learning how to like just focus in on what you're tasting and enjoying it. And like you see people do like the, you know, and like doing that shit with wine to aerate it and to move it around their mouth. And like it, when you get down to this, yeah, you have such a condescending like.
Well, it's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
But it's not anything that you take the time to taste the flavors of. You will, and like my palate
isn't that fucking big of a deal.
Sure.
We shouldn't give so much of a fuck about taste. That's why so many people are kind of big. You know what I'm saying? People be getting up on the sizes. There's a lot of different reasons, but one of them
taste
reasons
has so little to do with people's like overeating and shit.
No, because what do you mean it has nothing to do with overeating? Because
it has so little to do with.
Well, it's not even just overeating. It'd be different if people were overeating super healthy.
Ain't nobody
foods,
that fat, but nobody. Like, I just like the taste. It's like they're eating out of another reason. Our bodies don't eat like that out of taste.
I literally was just watching, like, not 20, 30 minutes ago. I was watching this kid. It made me want a chicken sandwich hella bad. He was trying the new Popeyes chicken sandwich, but he kept eating both chicken sandwiches. That one eating at a Chick-fil-A one, and he was like tripping. He was tripping over both. And while he made me hungry, I also thought about how, man, this boy is really excited about this taste. In particular, like, we shouldn't give so much of a fuck about that because your taste is fooling you. You know, it's designed. Our taste buds are designed to feed animals that fucking did stuff.
Yes.
That's why sweet stuff tastes good.
Yes. And why when you're younger.
Because there wasn't a lot of it. And now it's in everything. And because we care so much about fucking taste, we put sugar in everything, which has motherfuckers heart disease and weight levels going hell up. I know, because I used to be a lot heavier when I drank sugar like a motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
I stopped doing that, lost a bunch of weight. So, oh shit, that was the sugar.
And so when I said that it has so little to do with taste, that's what I meant, is that it has a lot more to do with like your serotonin and the messages you're sending when you're sending in those like super concentrated like bursts of energy into your body, which is what your body reads sugar
how much
as.
of that is affected by going
sweet
by doing the goofy little bong thing that Zay does?
Sweet? Wait, what? Oh.
I can't do it. And he has a whole little fucking thing where he acts like he has the bong. He lights the lighter. It's hilarious. It's a whole little bit.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He's been doing it since we were fucking 17.
What was your question about it?
Well, the motherfuckers do that for real, drinking wine. Why? That's stupid. There's no way that's making a difference.
I don't know if it does. I don't do that shit when I drink wine or taste wine or want to like give an opinion, but some people do because they believe that it's going to aerate the wine. Right,
and I roll my eyes for that. Like,
why do you roll your eyes? There is like scientific backing of what they're talking about. Of trying to aerate means that you're trying to add oxygen.
Sure.
But when you add oxygen to something like wine or beer, it oxidizes and it changes the flavors a little bit. And it can add to the flavor, subtract, or it can just liven up the wine, or it can like just splash it around. Where you need to let wine decant. Right, most wine. You let it, and that all that means.
How much oxidizing happens in the matter of the few seconds of
take a bite of an apple, and watch. That's the oxidation process in front of you, right?
That would be weird if I took a bite of an apple, and by the time I was done chewing it, it had oxidized in front of my face.
Right. That's not it's not supposed to oxidize in front of your face.
How are we doing that with wine? That's what I'm trying to tell you. Is it's like, I get it if it was like, we take our wine, we put it in this cup. This cup got a little air rock thing at the bottom.
They made that shit.
And it aerates like that. And then as I drink it, sort of mean, at the beginning, it's pretty much the same. But towards the end, you start to really get the oxidized fucking wine and taste it. I'd be like, oh yeah, that's tight. It can have the difference between when you start the cup and when you finish the cup. I'm telling you right now, it doesn't make no difference from when you put it in your mouth, slurp it, and then swallow it. It's not changing that fast. Is what I'm saying. That's my argument. I just think it's extra.
I know.
And so I roll my eyes at it.
You also think all of this shit is extra. Every bit of it. You want to drink a Modelo, why would you ever pick this up? You're like, this whole beer is extra to you. Every bit of it is extra.
Hell yeah.
And so you already are on the playing field of just wanting to talk shit about this shit is extra. And
no, I just like to make jokes. You just like to get reeled in. God damn it.
There it went.
God damn it.
Oh, it was strong for you there through that. Oh, did you good.
And it just lost
worst.
It was like, don't touch me.
Oh no.
That's what happens if you squeeze it too much. Oh, I see how it works now, though. Oh, that's why it didn't close up. I understand. Huh? That's what happens when we get these cheap-ass things. Good thing we're getting new mics soon, I think. Oh, boy. Ain't this some bottom-dollar bullshit. Anyways, go ahead and tell me about mouthfeel and all kinds of stuff over there. What was you talking about?
Yeah.
Before
Why don't we just talk
before-
about this beer?
Yeah, let's talk about the beer shit. I thought that's what we were talking about.
Well, we were talking about beer in general, but this beer. Now it's about the right temperature to taste real good. Eric, what do you think of this beer? Did you try it yet?
I choked on that, and that was a sip. Holy shit.
Damn it.
I get what I would imagine would happen if you took coffee and put it into one of those things that turns water into soda.
A soda stream, is that what they're called?
That's what champagne is.
Yeah, one of those.
What? That's what champagne is?
Isn't that what champagne is?
With wine,
No.
right?
It's just fucking wine all fucking extra.
This is like sparkling coffee.
It's fucking like wine, but
All extra.
yeah.
Right, ain't it?
Yeah, it's about right. All right, well, you're taking too long to fix that, so will you...
I think it's broken, boys. It's taking too long to fix it. It might be broke.
We'll be back for commercial break.
Anyways, speaking of the beer, hopefully that don't just fall on my dick. It'd be fucking whack. It hurt. But yeah, fucking coffee, coconut. So what's the coconut part? I don't taste no coconut.
Try it
For
now.
it to be.
Have you tried it in the last like,
I'm
5-10 minutes?
half done. What are you talking about?
But like, have you had a
Drink
sip?
half of it.
Especially I find like coconut, coffee, not so much coffee, but coconut flavors definitely come out a lot more when the temperature kind of comes down closer to room temperature when it's not so cold. Lets it out a little bit more.
Yeah, it's not
Not getting it? The one thing I really love about this beer is that the coconut is not like a sweet coconut.
maybe they just
it's a
use the
toasted.
outside of a coconut.
No, I think coconut's not sweet in general. Most coconut that we eat is sweetened. But if you just roast coconut straight up, and like if you've ever had unsweetened toasted coconut, shredded coconut or sharded coconut, it's not sweet. Coconut it has a little sweetness to it, but as much sweetness as like coconut water has to it, which is barely any, right? But it has a nice flavor, and I like this because the coconut in it is just a toasty, like you get a little bit of the caramelization of the sugar on the coconut, but it's not sweet. It has a nice back to it, or at least the bitterness from the coffee and what you guys were talking about with like that back end bitterness that sits on there, I think either balances the sweetness of the coconut that might be there from the roast down to a level where it's just like it's nice and balanced. Like this beer tastes good as fuck. Like it has a bunch of caffeine in it. It tastes good.
Yeah, but I don't taste no coconut.
You gotta it's there. I promise you it's there. But it's not a sweet coconut. It's not that like it's not your fucking suntan lotion coconut smell.
How the fuck would I want to drink that?
Well, because people have you ever had the fucking coconut 𝗏𝗏𝗂?
No.
Eric, have you?
I'm not a big coconut fan, TBH.
No. I prefer the one that's tasteless.
Yeah, natural, I think is what they call it.
Probably.
Which also is just water. But
I fuck with water pretty
the
heavy.
coconut one smells like a fucking banana boat bottle.
God damn, that's not gonna work. Look at that. Well, it's gonna be sad as fuck, but it's gonna hold on, alright? Hopefully.
Is that 𝗶𝗑𝗄𝗏 tape?
It's electric tape.
Ooh,
It's just white.
good tape. 𝗶𝗑𝗏𝗏 tape, good tape too.
Oh, shit. That's alright. Fuck it. Alright, anyways. So, coconut in the beer. That's how this might... To be honest, this time, don't even put like a verbal... Or, I'm sorry, like a written review for my beer of this one. just put a picture of this fucking sad ass microphone. That's how I feel about how this beer tastes.
Not having it.
I mean, I like coffee, and I'm cool with beer. That's why I like beers that are more watered down. You're over there, you calling them talking shit. Well, you know what? First of all, from the hood, that's what we always drink. Second of all, I'm not a huge fan of the actual taste of beer. It's not like my favorite flavor and shit. It's not like something I drink, with a meal because I think it tastes good. Right? So, like, and I do like coffee. I didn't used to like coffee, but I like coffee now. And I'll tell you that the same way I feel about most times that when they mix coffee with things. I don't like coffee ice cream. I don't like coffee and chocolate shit. And I don't like.
But I think a lot of that time is because
coffee
it's like
and beer.
artificial, or it's just like
maybe
it's like poor. It's like not great coffee that they're using.
Maybe.
Ooh.
I mean, I'm sure
this
it's
is
great
like
coffee.
fresh
I wish
roasted, like badass coffee stuff. Maybe
that don't mean it's making beer taste better or good. And I don't taste coconut. It tastes like they took the outside of that coconut and put it in one of them crazy ass blenders that they have the infomercials for, and then shredded, like made tea bags out of that shit and threw that into this beer, into the water first.
That sounds bomb. That's a great idea. I think
sounds
that's
terrible.
what they should have done.
That's what it tastes like.
Honestly, that's what I like about it, I think.
Yeah, that's what I hate about it.
Dang.
Do y'all think the fish around at the Boston Tea Party, when they dumped all that tea, tasted like tea for a minute?
They probably were fucking charged up on that tea, all that caffeine that was dumped in the water. I mean, that's pounds and pounds of tea that, a little tea bag has like 60 milligrams of caffeine in it.
Have you ever seen
tea?
how
maybe
they were?
Back then it was probably less.
But that's a lot of water, though.
But if you were like fish that were just like chilling over there, it's not very deep. Probably like it's deep enough for a ship, but there's a higher, and fish ain't never had no caffeine.
Have y'all ever seen how they were packed? Because it's like tea that's compressed into bricks.
No shit. Oh, is it like the full tea, like leaves and shit? Plants and stems and the whole joint, like bundles of it, or was it like ready to sell type shit?
Yeah, was it? Yeah.
Because of course, when I think of it in my mind, I think of like a single dude out of a group of people with like a wooden crate full of individual tea bags, making it rain off a dock. You know what I mean?
Just like all the little tails. Like,
I'm sure that reality was the farthest from that. But in my mind, when you guys say Boston Tea Party, that's what I picture. So that's
I just picture a bunch of like wooden boxes being tossed overboard that say tea.
See, I didn't even think that. No. A crate.
That's what I was picturing. Just boxes of like old timey boxes nailed together, just like
you got
pretty
like
simple.
Floating boxes of tea.
Yeah.
No, see, I see it all sinking pretty quickly.
I mean, at least
or keeping the wood at least.
They weren't trying to fucking brew some tea or anything.
Yeah,
they were just trying to piss
be
them
wasteful.
off.
Yeah,
yes,
shit,
they were trying to be wasteful. The point was to waste the tea.
Yeah, but we could use this wood. It's goddamn 1772 or whatever the fuck.
That's supposed to be a clock, and now you put up
1789. When the fuck was the Boston Tea Party?
That's a what?
A brick of tea.
Whoa!
So it's a whole bunch of tea leaves and everything.
And it's just like pressed like that with all our artistic light.
Yeah, and that's why the Boston Tea Party them throwing all that tea into the water was such a big deal, because this is a year's long supply.
Holy fuck. Damn, that's pretty hard, B. Could you imagine if you had all your weed rigged up like that?
I was gonna say, is that like the inspiration for the bricks of weed?
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder how much that weighs.
Well, the inspiration for bricks of weed is we've got to stuff it in this car and hide it in this gas tank. So make it as small as humanly possible so that we can drive across.
Justin, you can get weed at dispensaries.
This is 1.2 pounds.
You're talking about where did the brick come from? Motherfuckers have been
$30.
bricking weed since weed's been since
how
weed,
much?
boy.
$30.
Like right now?
Yeah.
On Amazon or what?
Oliverpuff.com.
I don't want a fucking tea.
I don't want that tea. I don't want my tea all smushed.
What the fuck do I look like?
Oh, they do that for shipping from like other places. So that's how they got the tea over here in these bricks, and then shit happened.
Shit. Well, I guess that's your guys' rundown of the Boston Tea Party. Shit. They threw bricks into the fucking ocean. Boy, I'd be heated.
People get heated about their caffeine.
I think it was more the money. It's probably the money somebody bought that.
I don't know. Think coffee in America at that point?
Yeah. Hell yeah, coffee was everywhere, boy.
I mean, it was everywhere.
Sugar,
but I don't think
coffee,
the native.
coffee.
Did the native
sugar,
people have
all
coffee?
of them?
I didn't feel like coffee
Might have
came
traded
up.
it with them.
Well, with who?
Or they might have traded any.
Because it would have to come from the South.
Yeah, but
right?
so the natives here traded with the native. See, the thing is that we start talking about natives and people start using the borders that white people came and drew as like native borders. You know what I mean? And there's history of and remnants of Aztec stuff and Mayan stuff, like artifacts at the very least, most likely traded. Like they're not saying that that it was like crazy huge cities. Some people do say that or whatever, but they say the most northern, I think, Mayan or Aztec city or something like that was in Georgia.
Like present day Georgia, and Georgia, America.
Yeah. It was in Georgia somewhere, and that was one of their trading areas, and but at least they've found like those artifacts with native tribes all the way up to like Canada and shit. So it's like they're all seen as different because again these white people came and then they started claiming stuff and they started drawing these lines, and then all of a sudden the people there start to gain their own identities and start to represent or feel like they're representing a particular area that they're from, right? Mm-hmm. And then this shit happens. But when you're talking about native people, I mean, coffee was grown in South America. Sure, I'm sure it wasn't traded like crazy or anything, but especially once the Spaniards got here, I'm sure that was one of the first things that they were able to trade with the Spaniards. In the same way the Spaniards were traded sugar, and these are things that were like life changing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Huge. I mean, like.
And so when I say we, I mean
societies when I say integrating or staples of cultures, like big cultures integrating into each other, like coffee and
so when I say we, I mean the people. That's all.
Yeah,
all the peoples.
Yeah. I don't know what we're getting at there
because coffee and where it's from and white people having it because of Boston tea. I don't know where you were going at with that. To be honest, you brought that up.
Had asked, you guys had mentioned this, the profit loss of like the tea party.
Oh yeah, how much because the money.
And then he brought up that
the
like
money.
Coffee might have like bounced it out. So it was 92,000 pounds of tea, enough to fill 18.5 million tea bags, and estimated present day is about $1 million.
God damn!
Holy buckets!
Yeah,
it is.
Tight.
Also, one dude named John Crane was hit by a box that was thrown. They thought he was dead, but he was just knocked out. And then apparently he arose from the dead like a couple hours later. So, shout out to John Crane.
Oh, yeah, John Crane. The zombie brain, boy. So what else you want to talk about, Steve?
Ooh.
You walked in here talking about all kinds of stuff to talk about. We spent about 20 minutes on beer. Terrible. Not that beer wasn't awesome to talk about, but this particular one is weird, dude. Coffee and coconut and beer. I don't know. Sometimes I think that you just like stuff because they're trying new stuff, which is cool. But I don't know if you actually like it or no. Do you really enjoy it?
This one I like.
This is crazy to me.
Huh? This is the only one I've liked.
I'm sure I'll learn to like it. Fuck it.
Is this just a sit and drink the beer or would you pair this with something else?
This?
Yeah.
I mean, I think there might be a pairing for most beers. There is a pairing for most beers. But like this, I couldn't see myself drinking this paired with anything but like maybe a dessert.
Is it because it's like...
Why no, I think this with like a can of this with a small scoop of like vanilla ice cream in there, just a little root beer float style, but coconut coffee float. I think that would be good. Yeah, you'd have to eat it.
I don't know what I don't like about it. Maybe it's coconut, dude. Because
the
coffee's not bad and the beer's not even bad. It's not even...
There is, I mean, I think, smell it from the glass, too. See if you... Because you can't really smell it out of the can. Give it a swirl, like in the glass to kind of just like rise it up, and then smell the top of the glass. And if you can't get coconut out of that nose, I don't know what the fuck you've been smelling.
A bunch of loud, boy. Maybe my shit's fucked up.
You can't smell coconut?
I can taste the coconut now.
Can you taste the coconut? Quit your lying ass, boy. Sometimes you just be agreeing.
No, if you can't smell coconut in this.
After flavor.
No,
that's the part I don't like.
See, and like, that's what I'm talking about. I can taste the shit out of this because I like spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to taste things and like connect to a palate. But it takes time to learn to like hone your palate in on flavors.
Learning is crazy.
Yeah. And like, I mean, it's fun when you're trying to learn how to drink beer or taste beer because every sip makes it more fun. There's even people who spit that shit out. Like there's like people who don't drink, who maybe like stop drinking or stop doing stuff. And when they do competition, it is okay to spit it out. A lot of people think it's not because like the swallow is also an important part to reach like there's connections to like your olfactory senses and shit. Like when you swallow, you get a little bit of a smell almost, right? Because there's connecting tunnels. I don't know. I don't remember the name of those tubes.
Tubes?
And like to the back of your throat and to when you're drinking where you're still passing areas where the liquid and like I don't know how to explain it. I'm just rambling now. Where
the shit, so you block the liquid from going into your nose.
No, you don't block it. But yeah, that area where it doesn't, like it just makes it go down in your esophagus and there's part of your, like there's a little flap of skin that makes it go down in your esophagus instead of your trachea. But before that, like at the back of the tongue where there's still some taste buds going on and stuff, but you're tasting, you're feeling, like take a swallow, take like a big swallow of beer.
Boy, you better stop talking to me all crazy, boy.
And then take a breath after you swallow, like through your nose, in. And you don't get any, like on that breath, you didn't get any extra, like, it's not like it's a smell or a taste. It's just going to give a little bit more space for flavor, like when you're swallowing.
Like, you know how you remember crazy shit? But then, like, your brain, so if when you're a kid, if you go through some, like, traumatic shit, they found out, like, you go through whatever, boom, some kind of crazy, uncle touches you, somebody does something funny, you know what I mean? Like, if it's traumatic enough, your brain kind of, like, starts to block it out. You know what I mean? It's like, like, it kind of just, it starts to null and void this memory. You know what I mean? And so even if somebody brings it up to you, you'll be like, for real, like, what are you talking about? I don't remember that.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember that shit.
Suppressed memories.
Yeah, right? Like, I think that I hate coconut so much that my mind has started to suppress the flavor. Because I can't taste coconut. I know what coconut tastes like. Mm-hmm. I can't taste it. I can't smell it. But there's something gross about this. And maybe it's just like a little blank where my mind is just refusing to taste it, which is cool. Shout out to my mind because coconut's gross.
Have you ever eaten raw coconut? Like broken a coconut open?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I use half of it right now for an ashtray.
How old was it when you had it?
How old was it? It was new enough where the coconut was fire. I was on a beach.
Was the coconut... Wait, when you said the coconut was fire, what do you mean?
We ate this shit.
Yeah. It was good? You like that coconut?
Cool. It was cool, yeah.
And what you had there...
half of it was that I opened it with a rock, and my girlfriend's dad at the time bet me that I couldn't. And I was like, yes, the fuck I can. He's like, well, you can't do it and keep the juice. And I'm like, boy, flex. So I grabbed me some rocks, Sat there, took me about 45 minutes, maybe an hour, goddamn 2 hours. I don't know how long it took. But I remembered how Tom Hanks did it in fucking Castaway, and I was like, God, it can't be that much different, right? Shh, did a kind of low number like that. It ended up working. Tried the coconut juice or milk, whatever the fuck you call it, and
water. I think
it's milk. To be honest.
No, you're right. You're right.
It's coconut milk
when it's in there.
Yeah.
Coconut water is a different thing.
Yes, and so everybody had some, and then we all tried the coconut, which I don't really like coconut again, but it was cool. Whatever. Like, it was especially good because I broke that bad boy up, did it? You know, won the bet. And then girlfriend's dad proceeded to give it to we gave it to the people that were right next to us, but they were Italians, and my ex-girlfriend's dad was Mexican. Well, I guess is Mexican. Is Mexican, right? So he speaks Spanish, pretty good English. And then there's this Italian dude, speaks Italian, said to us in Italian-ish, Spanish-ish, that he could understand Spanish easier to just speak like that. And then from that moment on, her dad refused to speak to that fool in Spanish. Spoke to him in broken English and it was a broken, but again, if nobody's 100 at their language, so if he's 85, 90 at Spanish, he was 55, 60 at English, so he's good at it.
Yeah,
but still hilarious that this dude doesn't understand English. And so he keeps asking him to speak Spanish, and he'd go, oh yeah, so where are you guys from? Oh man, it was one great thing. Anyways, so I broke open a coconut. Maybe, you know what, maybe that was the last time I tasted coconut. It was like, damn, you know what, you really don't even like this, and here you are in like paradise and shit. Let's just remember this one as the last time. And I don't know if I ever had coconut since. I mean, there's all kinds of crazy shit. You see that fucking dude created traffic jams on Google
with carrying a wagon full of cell phones.
A wagon full of 100 phones. Yeah.
Huh. I saw something. I was like, huh.
He was just over there making traffic jams for his own little experiment, or maybe it was. I don't remember.
Honestly,
I didn't read the whole
when I saw
article.
that, the only question I had, I was like, don't all them cell phones have to be active?
Yeah.
And so he's paying for 100 cell phones?
No. They're donated. But I think he did it with a school. To be honest, if I read like half the article, and I think he was doing it for like a study.
Oh.
With a school, and so it was like
academic.
Yeah,
I thought
it was like
somebody was having fun.
Yeah, no, it was like, so I think a bunch of students or faculty members or whoever he could find were gave their phones up for 30 minutes a day for whatever, however the fuck you end up making, an agreement to be able to do some shit like that. It was over there making traffic jams. Which I've thought about that driving. I think about that driving when I use Waze all the time. And when like shit's reported, and I'll be like, damn, like their brake lights are still on. Like somebody like just reported this. I wonder where they're at. And then when it's, when I'm speeding through somewhere where it's showing red lines where it's supposed to be stopped, I'm like, ooh, I bet I'm the one changing it right now. You know what I mean? I bet the person behind me is going to see a yellow line instead of a red one.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. It's pretty quick, isn't it? Is that what you're saying? I mean, this is
everything's quick. You ever send an email to somebody with your phone? That shit blows my fucking mind. Yeah, I know, right? Email with your phone? Listen, if I write text right here, I take this information and I press send on the email, almost instantaneously, your phone receives the email. And in reality, that email, because it's internet shit, right? I use email on purpose. iPhones, all of your text messages, right? Gets sent out to the closest tower, and then from there, most likely to another tower.
Well, most likely it tries the closest 3 and figures out which one's the best.
Yes, and
like,
then
and it could mean like one could be full, one could be like
is processing the math for all of this immediately.
Like, it's finding the quickest route to the next source to get it to the next step.
Yes, and there may be one or two while it's on the ground, and then it gets shot up to the fucking satellites,
Boom.
And then a satellite shoots it to another one, shoots it back down, whatever, and then all the way back from my service to yours, literally like instantaneously. Blows my fucking mind.
Yeah.
Why did I bring that up? I brought that up for an actual reason. I thought I wasn't just saying bringing up
speed of GPS being updated.
Oh yeah. So I think because of how fast that is, that's how a GPS is the satellite, but it's still all of that other shit, all of that other information that's being reported.
Mm-hmm.
That's all done through the same process.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And so I think about that shit all the time. Like when
and
I
think
report
it actually
something,
happens probably even faster for the bigger companies and especially like ones like 𝗬𝗚 that has made partnerships with lots of people, which I'm sure includes making sure they have the bandwidth to like make this shit happen faster in the future. Because I think the bandwidth is opening up even more. I feel like with like 5G and all this shit that's coming out, where they're upgrading all the fucking networks are going to be changed in the next few years, and it's to support this kind of shit where it's just it's boom, it's instant, it's quick, and
it's already quick.
Yeah, but it's the amount of data they want to move now. It's not the speed that they can move it. It's like, because we can, it's easy. Like everything gets filtered in the internet of like how we're moving all this data, and so we're just widening the fucking lanes of the speeds that I'm sure already are going at, but now we can just do more and more and more. But it's going to support all this artificial intelligence that's learning and tracking and watching and. Well, maybe not watching. Some people are watching, I guess, but
maybe that's all questionable.
It is, but I don't read them agreements.
Also questionable.
I don't read them agreements.
Anyway, I just think about it when I'm driving with 𝗬𝗚, like how instant that shit is. And then again, if I'm the one changing that shit, I also think about, especially when I'm driving to New Mexico, I'm almost positive these cops out there use 𝗬𝗚s and mark false cops.
They put decoys out on themselves.
So they'll put false cops like at a specific spot, right? Where they're not really even known to be or something. Like, because I drive that shit all the time. I know where they stay. I know where they be at. And so, that they'll put something somewhere else. And so I'll be paying attention and I'm looking and looking and looking. And 𝗬𝗚s, again, is hardly ever wrong. And then so all of a sudden I pass one and there's nothing there. And like a mile up.
You sure it isn't just somebody?
There he is sitting behind another bridge. And you're like, huh? And nobody has that one marked. And you're like, I wonder if maybe he just pulled somebody over, right? So then, you drive a little farther, same exact thing happens again. And it starts to happen, or you start to get them where they're marked. So like often, like you'll get one that's marked often, boom, cop ahead, boom, cop ahead, boom, cop ahead, and there are no cops. And you'll get those too. And I'm like, I bet these fuckers are just driving around doing that. Or I bet the other dude is baiting himself for these, because 𝗬𝗚s got bought out by Google. So now Google uses all the same information. They all connect. They all do the same stuff. And Google also tells you about cops and shit.
Can I tell you what I think they're doing? Or what somebody's doing?
I'm just telling you, if I was a state cop, that's exactly what I would do.
I think
especially when I was driving down the street. If I was just mobbing down, I'm like, fuck, I got to take I-25 from here to here for fucking 10 miles. I'm going to hop on 𝗬𝗚s and fuck with everybody real quick. Bink, 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 bink.
What you should do is do that like 30 minutes before you leave somewhere that there's going to be traffic. Just cause all kinds of ruckus somewhere, but you have to be in the location.
Have to be there. Yeah. See, that's why I know that the cops be fucking with it.
I think the cops are just sitting there and trying to catch somebody who's not on 𝗬𝗚s, but then is watching it, and then as soon as somebody reports them, they go and they dip to the next spot, and then they sit there and watch and see how long they can get until somebody's going to report them, because they probably noticed that if they watch 𝗬𝗚s, that if they get reported, they sit there for a long time before anybody speeds by.
But there's so many people driving, right, that it gets updated pretty quick. I think it only needs 2 people to say no. Once 2 people mark, and I mark shit all the time. I be snitching. Boom, they ain't nothing there, boy. They ain't no truck. Maybe object on the road. No, they ain't. No, they ain't.
This is for the data. This is for big data.
This is for everybody,
we need to get this right. Please.
Look, this is for traffic to keep going, because I got places to fucking be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And everybody was slowing down for some shit that ain't there no more. Let's let everybody else behind me know it ain't there no more.
That's what's up. We appreciate you on Waze.
So, in that way, I mark when these fucking guys, and I know that there's all kinds of, because of how many like check marks for yes end up on some of those cars that are on the side where, you know what I mean, you get something, and again, the car's on or something. And, or maybe, you know, maybe they're all standing there, so you know how they haven't been there for super, super long, and still it's got like 30 thumbs ups. So it's like, you know that there's, you know, been people driving by, but it only takes a few people to hit X in a row for them to take it off.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. I don't use Waze very much.
Well, in that sense, when you're driving down the fucking road and there ain't nothing, but it keeps just saying that there's a cop every fucking 2 miles and there's no cops. I mean, these bitch ass fools fucking right in front of me, marking this shit, fucking with me.
According to one cop on Reddit, he marks himself when he's running radar, and then doesn't go out of his way to hide himself. So it's kind of like, if you fuck up, you fuck up. He gave you opportunity.
Oh damn, that's kind of tight.
Yeah.
Man, made me feel entirely different. Is there another kind of beer? Or was that the only one?
There is another one.
What's the other one?
The other one's from a brewery called Rikoli.
Rikoli, yeah.
Rikoli.
Rikoli?
Yeah, Rikoli.
Oh, Rick.
Just read it yourself.
Is that like a name?
I don't know what it is.
Or is it like a word?
Go for it, buddy.
Rikoli?
All right, I'll have the other one. Thanks, Eric.
See
Rikoli.
this. Ooh, see, I like this little thing here. All right, let's see. Vanilla in your rye. I'm not a really big vanilla fan, man. It's weird. It's weird that I don't really I don't know very many things I don't like. Coconut is one of them, and vanilla I like with sugar, but like I assume this isn't gonna be a sugary drink.
I don't know.
So, in that sense, it's gonna smell like vanilla. And you know what vanilla smell like? It smell like the old folks' home. My auntie Sonata used to work at, boy. Oh, I was like a little kid. She drug me over to work with her. She had to work. I was trying to chill. It smelled like pee, and she covered the pee with vanilla Glade. And oh man, it didn't smell nothing but like vanilla pee, but ooh, it was the worst. I hate it so much. And again, the crazy how your memory works. So now every single time I smell vanilla, I smell pee. And I'm like, ugh, that's why I like vanilla ice cream. You don't smell like vanilla at all. At all.
It's because it's cold.
Exactly. Well, fucking awesome. Great. Because once it starts smelling like vanilla, it starts smelling pee. I'm like, fuck, Auntie Samantha, you ruined this.
Well, you're going to need to get another beer.
Is it like that? Oh, God.
You won't be able to smell
you know how that
vanilla
vanilla Coke?
can so
that
much.
vanilla Coke, oh
can
my
you
God.
Taste it? Is it okay to taste the vanilla?
It's the smell. Yeah, it's the smell. Because vanilla doesn't really taste the way it smells. Like, it smells, like, I feel like it smells stronger than it tastes. I don't know.
And just to let you guys know, we're gonna use this as a extended clip for like the full length version. We're gonna cut this out from the short version.
What?
Short version.
In that case,
you talking about the
let
second
me
beer?
wrap it up though real quick then.
Yeah.
You talking about the second beer?
Yeah.
You're gonna wrap it up. Talk about the beer, boy.
Go
What
for
you
it.
talking about?
Well, no, I
and
gotta
rye.
go. I gotta go in like 40 minutes.
Oh shit! Yeah, I hear that.
We'll do this.
Well, let's wrap this up.
We'll let you wrap it up and then do like a thing on music real quick.
Yeah, we could do that.
If y'all have any or
Yeah.
any last topics.
Music?
Yeah, music. or
Oh,
something.
I mean, I could go in on fucking 𝗶𝗧𝘂𝗀𝗋𝗃 little rat face fuck.
what do you? Well, go in on him real quick. What are you talking about?
What do you mean? What am I talking about? This whole app bullshit.
What app bullshit?
All right. I really gotta. Did you do? So, the Iowa caucus was a fucking mess, right?
Yep, that's what I heard.
And so it was just a big embarrassment. And what happened was there was an app that I'm sure you heard a lot about.
Mm-hmm.
And all this app did was take the vote totals and send them up to the next chain of person. That's all this app was supposed to do. And it fucked up. And so, luckily, they had all the paper backups, had to count them all. And boom, Bernie Sanders won.
Uh-huh.
But I don't want to talk too much more about that because where this app came from is just a little bit suspect.
Uh-huh.
And I think about 1/3 of this was paid for by the Pete Buttigieg campaign and how they took the narrative completely away from everyone else to focus on him saying that he won it in the first place, and then only release enough results to show that for days, because Iowa doesn't fucking matter is the thing. It's 41 votes.
That's what I've been trying to tell you, B.
But it's a show. It's a big fucking show. And you asked me last week, and you said you said, why does fucking Iowa matter?
Yeah, why does it matter again?
I figured it out, because it's just full of fucking white people that think they're more important than they are. That's it.
And so that's why they think it matters.
Yeah.
So it don't matter shit. I told you.
Is 9% non-white. 9%.
That's crazy, huh? That's where
you know what was tight though that Bernie Sanders did, which is why people are pissed at him now and say he cheated. So they had to set up a bunch of satellite caucus locations. And so no other candidate did this in Iowa, but there's a bunch of people like caucusing is hard. You got to go fucking there. But there's a lot of people. Iowa's a big place. There's people who don't live in places that have elementary schools around, you know, like think factories. And so they went and held a bunch of satellite locations, a bunch of them, so people could caucus all around Iowa. No other candidate did it. No other candidate paid any money to do it. They had paid staffers at these places so they could get there and have those people caucus. Landslide victories, of course, for Bernie Sanders, because that's whose campaign did it all. All of it. And so that's really what's going to turn the tide. And I mean fuck all these totals and shit, but like with all that shit in there, when they
my money's going up.
Yes. Yeah. But on the betting website I saw, shit was flipping up and down on Bernie Sanders and Pete Buttigieg through Iowa.
Wait, no, yeah, it goes right now. It does it anytime. Anytime
every
that the
minute.
polls, anytime that the polls,
on the minute.
yeah, but anytime that the polls are coming in, it fluctuates up and down because there's a bunch of people selling and then rebuying. So there's a bunch of people trading because they trade tactically at these moments. So that's why it goes up and down. It doesn't go up and down with what's actually going on. So you don't watch them real time right now to know what's really going on. All you need to see right now to know if it's going on is that they're going up. Even if it's just by a cent, even if it's just by a penny or two, as long as it's going up, that just means that right now one person is clearly winning. But during especially right when it starts, right when the shit comes out, a bunch of people will dump their stock just in case he loses. You know what I mean? Or just in case whatever. And then they're paying attention to buy back right in case that it, something happens. And in any case, you just wait that out. Right now, my money is on its way up. And it's on its way up because remember, man, I wish I don't know if we have those audio ones from back in the day. But I told you that it'd be Bernie Sanders would be the front leader around this time. To be honest, I said around April, and you were like, no, this and that, and I was being generous. And here we are. We're not even fucking halfway through February.
Well,
and he's looking like the front leader. So when I say these things that sound ridiculous, maybe, I kind of know a little bit something. I don't know a lot. But I know a little bit.
You think polls are trash.
They are trash. And you were the one paying attention to polls. That's why you believed what you believed. At first, you argued with me that Joe Biden was going to be the candidate and he was going to be and I told you that nobody was going to take him seriously, and that's exactly what happened. And I told you that it was going to be him and Elizabeth Warren, and that they were going to go at it, or they were going to make the card together. And you were looking at me like that was ridiculous because they weren't, the Joe Biden. You were convinced because of these polls. And later on, you were convinced these polls that it was going to be Elizabeth Warren or Bloomberg or whatever the fuck these polls keep telling you, and they all keep being wrong. You got to listen to your boy. You know what I'm saying? Fuck the polls. Holla at your kids. I'm talking about. We here. It's the Lone Ranger versus Tonto up in this bitch. I'm talking about.
I'm so glad to be wrong. But also, that opinion was not based on any polls.
I know. I'm just talking that bullshit about polls, boy.
Did you think that Pete was gonna make that comeback?
You can have to say what?
What are you talking about?
Much? I mean, he's second. I never really expected Pete to be that high up.
He was like the last dude. He came up because Elizabeth Warren went down for that bullshit she was talking. She fucked her own shit up. Sorry. That's what happens, especially with this call-out culture, boy. If you start being funny, dude, and you start trying to be the one, it ain't going to work. Especially when you're going up against DT, who has moved the needle of what's appropriate in one direction.
Wait, who? Oh,
Donald Trump, boy.
Gotcha. DT. DT.
Yeah, he's moved the needle on what's appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't think that his he's gonna get jokes good, or that Bernie can have jokes good enough to beat DT.
Yeah,
but my money's not on that. My money's on him for the campaign, for the Democratic nominee.
Yeah. Well, maybe we should get back to Pete Buttigieg.
Oh yeah, Pete Buttigieg.
Buttigieg. That's what I think of every time I hear his name. But he also, here's the thing.
Wait, hold on. Have you seen that group of teenagers? I think it's like an NSYNC song that they're singing. Holy shit, Biden's name.
No.
Oh, they're like Joe Biden. Fuck, I gotta find it.
Sounds amazing.
Go ahead. I'll cut you off.
So, the ties to the Pete Buttigieg campaign were to this app, which was created by a company called Shadow. And I'm not joking.
Shadow?
Shadow.
Sorry. Found it.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything.
Sure.
That was really weird. You know,
Did you hear him call that person a like slingshot side pony or something?
white people do the darndest things.
What the? I mean, like, God.
That sounds like malarkey. I don't know.
Malarkey.
But Shadow.
Like I've been thinking.
Confounded.
I've been thinking a lot about like which candidate am I going to abstain from voting from completely, or which candidate am I going to be like, all right, I'll go vote for them, and which candidate will I be happy to vote for?
I ain't
And
mad
Bernie
at Bernie.
Sanders winning. Well, I already know the one that I want to win.
Then just vote for him. See, this is the bullshit, dude. You can't be fucking.
The fuck are you talking about? I'm talking about the general election.
Me
I
too.
know who I'm voting for.
Yeah.
But he has to. It's not my choice.
Yeah, it is. You vote for whoever you want.
Yes.
You know what?
And then
Everybody
if he
else
loses the primary, I
so
have
what?
to make
You
another
voted?
choice.
No, you don't. You just vote for whoever you want. I voted for Bernie Sanders last election.
Yeah.
Wrote his ass in. Because you know what? I didn't agree with who they put up in these two little teams, and I'm not on either of your fucking goofy ass teams. So I chose who was the best choice for president that I saw. That's it. You see that there's too much guilt on this bullshit about being in these parties, and if you vote outside the party, you're wasting your vote, you're swinging these votes, you're doing all this bullshit, and they throw all these fucking guilt trips on you, but in reality, the point of a democracy is the freedom to vote for the representative that you believe holds up to your values and represents, will represent in a, whatever is up to your values. And to me, it's about respect, it's about consistency, and it's about honesty. And there's a lot of stuff that I don't have to necessarily agree or disagree. You know what I mean? This and that. I'm sure you'll make decisions that aren't my favorite. But out of all these people, I trust you to make the best decisions. So I'm going to vote for that person. And this bullshit that I'm stuck voting for whoever the fuck paid the most money for it, or whoever the fuck has the most cards in their fucking hand, gets to fucking go. I don't play that game. That's bullshit. I was this close to voting for Ralph Nader the first time that Obama ran.
Mm-hmm.
And Obama changed my mind right at the end, and I don't even remember what it was. It was some like live thing he did and some speech, and he got me, and I was like, all right, I think I think I'll try it. But I was gonna go for Ralph Nader, and I had no qualms about it. Fuck anybody that tries to guilt me and tell me my vote is some kind of funny shit.
Fuck yeah.
Suck a fucking dick.
That's fucking right.
So there you go. You tell yourself that because you were just saying that like somebody else and whoever wins the primary is what's gonna affect your general election. Well, why would it? Just vote for who you're voting for. Anyways, you got any music you want to talk about?
Oh shit! I thought there was. I was sad I missed the. Mick Jenkins and Earth Gang concert that came through last Monday night. Really wanted to go to that.
You said who?
Mick Jenkins.
Mick Jenkins
from Chicago.
Never heard of him.
And Earth Gang.
Oh, Earth Gang. That's them two dudes. One of them's got dreads.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's them.
I seen. Yeah. They can spit. I fuck with motherfuckers. They can spit. I don't really know nothing about their music, but I saw them, and I was like, damn, they can spit.
You got to see them live?
No. I saw them on some kind of YouTube thing somewhere, or maybe on the computer.
They did a Tiny Desk concert. I played some of their shit last week.
You. I don't know. Whatever it was, as I remember hearing every time I've ever heard them, I've been like, oh shit, my motherfucker, them motherfuckers can spit.
They're fun.
And sometimes it's a little extra, and I'm like, all right, it's not necessarily my flavor, but this motherfuckers can spit, and I fuck with motherfuckers that can spit.
But they came through, so I've just been listening to my favorite tracks on Mirrorland.
Did you go watch them?
No, I didn't go. That's why I was sad.
Where were they at? Cervantes or what?
I don't remember where they're at. I
think
maybe the Marquee. I want to say it was the Marquee.
Oh shit! Huh?
That seems a little small for them. Their tour's pretty big.
Oh, yeah.
My friend in Philadelphia
saw Wiz at the Marquee one time.
Really? 𝗶𝗀𝘀𝗁𝗏?
Yeah.
Nice.
Before he like blew up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was hard as fuck.
I saw the Diamond Boys there once.
Might have been that night. Actually, no, that was Main Rock. I did do a verse with Main Rock, so a Diamond Boy you might have seen, but it was Main Rock show. Can't take credit for that. But we definitely did all kinds of shit there.
Yeah, it's a great venue. It's one of my favorite ones in Denver.
Marquee's hard.
Yeah, and the pizza.
Oh, the Marquee pizza.
Yeah, but
fire.
Yeah.
Big as fuck, bomb as fuck. Pretty cheap. You know what I'm saying?
Beers are pretty reasonable. Like they'll make you buy 3 of them at a time, essentially in that one giant fucking can. But it's like $8.
It's alright.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's the tall can at the very least. Some of them places cost you $8 for your Rikoli. Like, goddamn.
Yeah.
You know, I drank this whole thing. I didn't taste no vanilla. So shout out to my what do you call the
olfactory?
Olfactory. That's what I was about to say too. Boy, I didn't want to be wrong. Shout out to my olfactory memory. For keeping
but
that vanilla out my nose.
I do want to shout out to your olfactory memory because a lot of part of learning like how to taste is how to tap into your memory about like what things taste like, right? Because taste is subjective and constructed, right? Like when we say something tastes like coconut, like what the fuck is the word coconut in our brain? Like we're just putting a label that we made up for like this thing that we associate another memory with, right? So olfactory, like taste and olfactory senses are like deep memories are locked in about this stuff, but like being able to articulate them and actually like taste them but even hit that like memory bank of like what it hits, that's like the point of it. And the best people who can do like all the best tasting is people who can make a sensation that they're getting, that they're just like feeling in their brain that they've associated with X, Y, and Z, and it's really just like chemicals, blah, blah, blah. But being able to associate it with a memory or something that can have other people. I do that
every time I do a review, and they're just not good memories.
I know, but that's why I'm shouting you out, because I don't give a fuck about what you say about, you're just saying your memory, but that's the point, is I like your reviews because that's the point of it.
That one was better than the last one.
Your olfactories and that's what I wanted to get to end this segment on the beer, was like I like your reviews, and because it's real and it hits your olfactories, you're tasting it, but it's just your experience, and I don't give a fuck about like how it tastes to you. That's your shit, and I like that it does like hit where it's supposed to hit. It's supposed to hit your memory. And that means that you're trying to taste it. You're trying to feel it, but it's like, it's deeper inside you that you have to go. Like, you can just drink a Modelo all the time because you can just drink it, right? Like Kool-Aid, it just fucking tastes good and it does what it's supposed to. But I like the way that you taste beer, so I like your reviews. What I wanted to ask is, like, should I go up more? Like, because I've been trying to get beers that I want to find one that you might find at least interesting to drink. That's the goal. Because everything else you've been just like, fuck this. But something that you would like spike you as interesting. And I can go
I
simpler.
bought that banana bread beer the other day, and that was fire.
Yeah. What I realized, I was like, oh, I've seen a beer like this before. That beer has rebranded recently for the first time and probably since ever. You might want to look into it because the rebranding is fucking from like A to Z indifference.
But is it in a good way or a bad way?
Did you like the branding on the new one?
I mean, I bought it, and I typically buy things because of the box. And
Interesting.
and the flavor, but yeah, it wasn't a bad box.
You should. It might not be, but when I looked at it, the brewery and stuff was all from.
It was
another
Eagle
country.
Brewing or some shit.
But it was from another
fire.
country.
Huh?
It was from another
You're
country.
from another country, boy.
No, some of my family is.
Don't be
but
over here
not
being
me.
racist right now.
They're from another country.
What, you a white nationalist now?
Now I'm telling you, buddy, that beer
You a alt-right?
used to be.
This boy's alt-right. He's
No.
to my alt-right.
I mean, I'll
Oh,
say that like
boy.
he's all right. I don't know about
he-
all right.
yeah, he's all-right.
He's all right.
Steve's all-right.
but not alt-right.
Yeah,
Let's
but he's
be clear.
all-right.
Yeah, but not alt-right. Fuck no.
Yeah, but he's all-right.
Hard no.
He's all-right.
Yeah.
Somebody, when I say that, he's going to think, oh, she's saying all-right.
Yeah. Should I go up or down? That's
what
what
makes
I'm
you think
saying,
that
like-
anybody would even believe that you're alt-right if they got this far into the podcast?
I don't know.
You got so nervous though that like I would say that you're like not all right though, no, and it's like, dude, nobody would believe that anyways.
It's still a hard no on
Fucking-
anything. All right.
Having
An
a
hour
timer
and
is
30
cool.
minutes.
I keep thinking about it. Would you look at that? It's been an hour and a half now. Right now. Anyways, did you have anything else about the olfactories or?
No, just do you want me to make beer,
About-
or do you want me to get beer that's like more
I don't give a
of
fuck
the
if- I'll
flavors
tell
or
you that-
less of the flavors?
I'll tell you that I don't give a fuck if it's from a different country.
well, no,
That
I don't
has
think
zero.
that's it.
Well, that was what you just told me about
No, you
banana bread
just
beer.
cut
Like I wasn't
me
supposed to
off.
like it.
In what I was saying about banana.
Oh, yeah, because
about
it's
other
racist.
beer, but
And I took the
you cut me
opportunity.
out about bananas.
Well, out of context, you had a racist
just
clip that
split
I
in there.
needed. I needed to like pull out because, you know, I'm obnoxious. I don't know.
It had to do with where the beer was from.
Where's it from?
I think. I mean, I don't remember. It wasn't from the United States.
Yeah. See, that doesn't matter.
That's not what I'm saying, but like the beer that I associated with the beer that I saw, a banana bread beer. Which there's only one place I've ever seen that makes a banana bread
And
beer.
now it's gone. It's rebranded and it's in another country.
No. It was
Oh.
originally made in another country. It's rebranded now for the American market. Mm-hmm. And outside of which was, I don't
And
know
that's what I
where,
got.
but it was European. It was like in a European market.
So
where
is that
it's
what
made
I,
out there.
That's
and
what
you
you're
got
used
the
to.
rebranded version of it.
So I got the one here. You got the one from another country.
No, it's been branded from that country and imported for a long time and sold as an import. It is now looking like, if it's the same company, remember, there's only been one I've ever seen a banana bread beer. So either another European company took that same idea and is now rebranding it in America, or branding it in America as the banana bread beer of America, and the other one has been sold out. Because I don't drink that shit. I just see it in the liquor store because it's in all kinds of shit. It's distributed heavy. Like, it's in all kinds of liquor stores, and it's always old because nobody fucking buys it. People try it once when they're like, I'm going to get into beer. And they see that beer and they try it once, but I have never
I
seen
thought it was
anybody.
bomb. I want to get it again.
I know you loved it. I just laughed. I was like, oh, shit. But I was like, oh, boy. I think
Boy,
this
why
is
would
this
you
beer.
laugh at me?
I've never had the beer.
Bet you had it that day. I handed it to you, and I was like, try it. And you tried it, and then I told you I really like it.
I had never had the beer. But it was pretty warm, and I think it's been sitting out for a little bit. So I was like, I want to give this beer a chance because I've never had the beer before. So I'm not saying nothing about the beer at all. I'm not making any judgments about it.
Fire.
But it's just everywhere. And I think it's the same brewery, but they've just taken on a new marketing strategy.
I've never seen it before. This is the first time I've seen it.
It's, like I said, A to Z difference.
Look, boy, I don't go everywhere. I only go right here to this hood spot. I go right there to that hood spot. And every once in a while, if those two hood spots be closed, I got to go to the extra hood spot down the street.
Where's the least hood spot around here?
The one we went to that day that you were talking shit about.
They would have the older style of this beer.
Fuck no. I would have seen it that day when we were there.
It's in the bomber section. They only sell it. They used to only sell it in like a weird European sized bottle, like a 17.2 ounce. It was weird, but it had the banana
Europeans
on it.
got a little banana, boy.
But it's not that little. It's just
littler than
most
American.
of the label. It's most of the label.
American bananas.
But the size of
European
the
bananas,
label and the
You know what I'm
bananas.
saying? Right around this little boom. Compared to American bananas. Know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. And in the label, it's clear it's European. That's why I think I remember it being European. You're right.
I'm so childish.
That must be it. Be it.
Well, y'all motherfuckers, let us know if you've ever had banana bread motherfucking beer, or if I'm tripping, or if this food's tripping and it thinks it's everywhere and it's not.
Or
I thought it was cool as fuck.
Banana bread beers.
I was like, damn, I ain't never seen this shit before, and so I got it. It was tight. But yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I think that this is probably it, unless there was something in specific you wanted to mention.
No, just that 2 banana bread beers reminds me of the billboard in Kansas that advertises the second best yarn store in Kansas.
Shout out to the second best yarn store in Kansas.
You can see it both ways on I-70 at one point.
Hell yeah, my cat will have a fucking blast in there.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? That should be their slogan. Should be "Excites the pussy." The second best yarn store in Kansas excites the pussy. Exit now.
Yeah, and the exit's like far. But they have one on both sides of I-70. But it's far. It's like 54. Like, it's the craziest. And you go from here to the south, the billboards get fucking wild. Y'all ever drive through the south?
Oh, you know what? I can't say I have.
Abortion, like crazy abortion billboards. And like...
Is it like you'll burn in fucking hell and it's all flames and shit?
No, it's way more guilt. Or like, are you feeling sad about what you've done? And it's like a sad, it's like a sad young girl that's like,
Damn. They have ones like that in New Mexico for drunk driving.
Florida,
all the ones in New Mexico for drunk driving.
The whole South, Georgia, Florida, Louisiana, all of them go in on those billboards. And it's also like to the left or to the right of like, maybe not to the left or right, but like the religious, like fucking crazy stuff out there. But Kansas also, I drove through Kansas once, my favorite. So the yarn ones are my favorite in Kansas. I've drove through there a couple times. But the other one is just like
the pussy.
My other favorite thing in Kansas is when you go down I-70, about like 60 yards in off I-70 into a cornfield.
60 yards.
Yeah. It's not like too far, but it's like, it's in there. Maybe not 60 yards, maybe like 40 yards, 120 feet in. 120 feet in, you have like probably 10, 12, maybe 15 foot tall Jesus. Just in the middle of a cornfield. It's just like
keeping
wooden,
the crows out, boy.
Painted. Like, but it's flat. It's not 3-dimensional. It's just flat. Man. It's just a Jesus, like a way too big of a Jesus, because the corn's like 5-6 feet high.
The crows are brave, boy.
3-4 feet above that, and there's just Jesus standing there, painted flat on but it's like a silhouette of him too. So it's not just like a board painted with Jesus. It's like a cutout of Jesus.
Oh yeah,
painted. Oh, yeah. It's wonderful. I love wholesome billboards like that. I also got picked up by some meth heads once to save me from a broken motorcycle accident, or not accident, but
How do you know they were meth
malfunction.
heads? Were they smoking meth in the car?
No, my.
You know what meth smells like?
My brother-in-law
Their
had.
You a meth
heads-
smoker?
Their heads were made out of meth?
Oh no, gosh, that story's too long to say, so we're gonna end it now. And you guys can hear the meth story later about the motorcycle
What a
breakdown.
fucking weak ass story. Let me tell you about the meth story. Oh, never mind. Here I go.
No, you're not gonna hear the meth story
Weak.
tonight.
Catch
Alright.
it next time on the podcast. Also, let us know. Is beer bread that you just drink?
Oh, that's a good question, boy. And if it is, then does it make it the liquid body of Christ?
Fuck yeah, I have the answer to that the next episode.
Is that real? Because that sounds awesome.